I, 32F, messed up tonight and told my husband, 31M. I wanted to leave and my son overheard. When we got home from a long day at my in-laws, my son, 6Y, started to throw a tantrum. He was crying and I lost my shit. After spending the whole day trying not to argue with him in front of my in-laws and keeping my cool, I finally lost it. I told him no TV before bedtime, and he threw an ultimate meltdown. My husband came in the room and looked at me like, great job, and again I lost it. I asked him why he gave me that look instead of helping, and then he decided to argue with me in front of my crying son. I was so sick of everything that I said, fine, F_CK this, I'm over it. He argued and raised his voice, and I said, F_CK you, and I left. I went to the gas station and filled my tank up at 9 p.m. at night, and sat at that gas station for a good half an hour to calm myself down. Felt like the worst parent, and drove home. I saw my husband in bed, lights off with, and told him I might have to leave because I just can't do it anymore. Then I hear my poor son say, "Why are you leaving?" I would have put my life on him being asleep. I would never even have uttered the words if I thought there was a chance he was awake. I just felt so overwhelmed and anxious that I needed to say it to my husband. I told my son I'm so sorry and that I shouldn't have said what I said. I felt like the worst person in the world. I've been feeling like I'm so anxious for so long, and it all just came out tonight in a shit tornado. After sitting with our son and making sure he was okay and knew I would never leave him, I talked to my husband. He threw it all in my face, telling me how awful I am for saying what I said. I tried to tell him that I never meant to say it in front of our son, but he looked at me like I was disgusting. He was hurt. Backstory. I've been working full-time trying to make my quota for EOY, while being a full-time mom to our son, attending all events, making/paying/taking him to all of his DR's appointments this month, auditory processing, visual processing, ADHD pediatrician appointment, dental follow-ups, teacher's Zoom calls with updages, on top of dodging everything for Christmas. Buying my family gifts, his family gifts, cleaning the house, toilets, laundry, wrapping gifts, decorating the tree, moving the elf, working, watching my son most days now that he's on vacation. Literally everything you can think of, and all I've asked for is just his support. I don't feel supported, or like I'm being put first. I've been telling him I want to go on a vacation, I'll pay, and all he wants to do is spend time with his family and see them every day, not exaggerating, it's every day, and I oblige, but nothing I want is ever considered. So I blew up tonight. He's held it against me all night, and I tried to communicate with him that I'm trying so hard to communicate with him that I'm overwhelmed, and he just didn't care. He said what I said, that I thought I should leave after the holidays for a little while, and I'd pay for my own apartment because I wasn't feeling normal and feeling anxious. Was disgusting and hurtful to him. I'm honestly getting to the point where I feel like everything I say and do is wrong, and I don't even know why I'm here anymore. I feel like I've hurt my son and my husband all in one night, and there's no point to me even being here at all. Edit. I also want to add my husband never wants to talk. It's never a good time, and when I do he never has anything to say to me. He gets defensive. He sends texts to me being supportive after the fact, but doesn't really back it up. He recently left his job of 10 years to go to a new company and then quit that company to start his own. He used to say he was stressed, and so I wouldn't try to overwhelm him with how I'm feeling, but I've supported him through everything and still feel like I can't talk to him. I'm extremely supportive of everything he doesn't and never ask for anything. Anything. Anything I want gets rejected. So I stopped asking and stopped expecting. All I want is to be considered. I want my husband to put me first and make plans with me. I have been wanting to take a vacation together, but the only time he'll plan anything is if his family is involved. I hate that. I hate that everything is on his family's time. What does your husband do for your son, like day to day? It sounds like it might less work for you if you got divorced. Put your own mask on first. If you're not okay, physically, emotionally, or mentally, nothing you do will actually make your son's life better. Right now, you're not getting support, you're doing the work alone. Carrying dead weight, husband, doesn't help a child, it drains the parent. It's often healthier for kids to have two stable, happy homes than to grow up in one unhappy home where one parent is exhausted and unsupported. You hit your breaking point after doing literally everything alone for months. Your husband gave you a judgy look instead of helping, then made it worse by arguing in front of your kid. You vented one time thinking your son was asleep. So, what does this jackass husband of yours actually bring to the table? So you're basically one of those single married moms? You've settled for a 1950s-style husband and taken on everything, stressing yourself out to the max until you finally couldn't take it anymore. It's interesting you talk about hurting your husband when he doesn't seem to care about you. Take a big old deep breath and take a look at what your future looks like unless you make changes, because your husband is not interested in changing. For what it's worth, you're already a solo mom. You might as well make it official. At least then you'll get some weekends back through shared custody. I, 19M, am thinking of ending things with my girlfriend, 19F, because of her panic attacks. We have been dating for 2 years, and she has severe panic attacks, usually 1 to 3 per day. These aren't short episodes, they often last 3 to 5 hours, and the longest one lasted around 9 hours. During these attacks, I stay with her, reassure her, ask what she needs, and try to help however I can. After hours of doing this, she often becomes upset with me and says I'm not doing a good enough job, that I have no empathy, or that I don't really care. After so long, I sometimes get visibly frustrated or emotionally shut down. I don't yell or insult her, but my exhaustion shows, and that only seems to make things worse for her. Lately, I've been completely emotionally drained. We're currently on a break because she says I'm not emotional support. That hurts because I genuinely want her to get better and would go above and beyond to support her recovery. The problem is that she refuses therapy. She's on medication, but won't take any other steps to help herself. I'm starting to feel emotionally trapped and at times emotionally abused, like I'm responsible for managing her mental health, but also blamed when I inevitably fall short. At the same time, I feel incredibly guilty for even considering leaving someone who is clearly suffering. I love this girl so much, but don't think I can continue living like this long term. But I don't know where the line is between supporting a partner and sacrificing my own mental health. Has anyone been in a similar situation? I really don't know what to do. You're not responsible for someone else's mental health. If you don't want to deal with it and then be accused of not doing enough, then that's a fair stance. Someone told me this around your age, and you probably need to hear it too. You are not responsible for anyone's mental health, and nobody should be making you feel like you are. It's likely that as long as you're in her life as a crutch, she'll continue to avoid the right avenues, psychiatric support and therapy, to overcome these issues. And you also don't deserve to be used that way, because nobody does. What would you tell a friend in this situation? She's either faking it for attention, or so mentally ill that a relationship should be the last thing on her mind. I would very much bet money on the first one, but either way you should leave. It's exhausting just reading this. It will never change. Don't waste any more of your time. I could be wrong, but I think if a panic attack lasts all day, it's not a panic attack, more of an overall bad mental state. Hey, when you break up with her, she might pull the "I'm gonna kill myself" card. Please just call her family and friends. If that happens, then block her. You are not responsible for another adult's mental health. Husband 30M is okay with his mother extending her stay during my 28F postpartum recovery. My MIL came from overseas planning to stay for 1 month, but has decided to extend her visit by another 2 months to spend time with her grandson. I'm currently 3 months postpartum after a difficult emergency C-section, and as a first-time mom, this has been an intense physical and emotional recovery period. I don't gel well with her and struggle having her constantly in my space. I feel confined to breastfeeding in my bedroom and can't comfortably breastfeed around my own home. With postpartum hormones still high, my patience is limited, especially as she can be quite insistent with advice about how to care for my baby. My MIL helps my husband with cooking and chores, and I'm solely focused on caring for the baby. My husband insists it's reasonable for her to stay because she traveled 18 hours by plane, Middle East to Oceania, to be here and won't see the baby again for another year. He wants them to bond and feels it would be unfair to ask her to leave early. I've shared my concerns and we've argued about it, but he's firm on her staying. Now I'm questioning whether I should just compromise and push through, even though I feel exhausted, uncomfortable, and unheard while I'm still healing. For context, my husband is very loving and protective and has always stood up to his mother in the past to protect me when she has been difficult. He sees this as her only real chance to spend meaningful time with the baby before a long gap, which is why he's so set on this. Too long did not read. I'm 3 months postpartum after an emergency C-section and struggling with my MIL extending her overseas visit from 1 month to 3 months. She gives unsolicited advice, and I feel overwhelmed during recovery. My husband, supportive and loving, not a mummy's boy, insists she stay because she traveled far and won't see the baby again for a year. I'm torn between compromising and prioritizing my own healing and mental health. Her meaningful time with the baby does not override your peace of mind. Period. What about the meaningful time you get to spend with your baby? Maybe you want to enjoy what your home is going to look like for the foreseeable, just the three of you. It's totally okay to put your foot down. You've brought life into the world. You are allowed to ask a guest to leave if they're overstaying their welcome, even if they're family. I'd tell him that's fine, and that I'd be in a hotel / with my family for the rest of her visit. He doesn't unilaterally ever get to invite someone for 3 months, but especially immediately postpartum. She doesn't need to bond. Any bonding she does comes at the expense of mom, and that's worse for baby and for your family. Mom and dad are the only people a newborn needs to be bonding with. She's making memories for herself, but let's not pretend the baby is going to remember her at all. Your husband is being an absolute dick and showing no care for you. She needs to leave. You say he's not a mummy's boy, but he's siding with her and putting your discomfort to the bottom of the pile. That's not okay. You have enough to handle. You aren't asking her to leave early. You are asking her to leave as scheduled. He wants her to stay because he does not want to do all the work. Let's just be honest here. You were the one who was pregnant for 9 months. You had a traumatic delivery. You are in the thick of postpartum and have to navigate having someone in your house who you are not comfortable with. There is zero meaningful bonding happening between her and the baby at this stage. She has to go now. She's been there for a month. That was more than enough. He needs to step up and want to care for you, not care for his mother's needs, or his own by keeping her around, so he doesn't have to do anything. My 30F boyfriend, 29M, said I deserved to suffer. We've been together for 4 years, and we were friends for 7 years before, so a lot of things happened that I'm not going to include. So this is just for context, but it's obviously not all of it. He has been neglecting our relationship lately to the point that he refuses to even have a 5-minute conversation about the issues we are having unless I quite literally beg him to. It's been really hard on me, and I tried everything I could possibly think of to make things easier for him. I kept asking for less, and less just for him to get comfortable with doing half of what I'm asking each time. Obviously, this has been hurting me quite a lot, and he knows this too. Finally, 2 days ago, he told he is going to start being honest with me. He has a habit of lying to appease me even though I always told him to just be honest. And he said that sometimes he feels like I deserve to suffer. Well, I honestly never had anyone say something this cruel to me in my entire life, and he just acted like it was no big deal. We then talked for a long time, and he just kept repeating that I misunderstood him because he only feels like this, but logically he knows I don't deserve this, and I did nothing to deserve it at all. It looked like to me he didn't even understand why I was so hurt by this. He says that he just gets so angry for no reason that he starts feeling like this, but I don't think this is normal at all. People don't think like this, do they? I certainly never did. I've known this man for a long time, and while lately I realized he doesn't care much about me at all, I never imagined him to be malicious and actually wish harm on me. Please tell me if I'm wrong, and people do feel like this when they get angry, because I feel like I'm going crazy. Edit. Thank you, everyone. Why he got in my head so much. This is obviously not normal, and I shouldn't stay with someone who feels this way about me. It's just so hard to admit that he is not who I thought he was. Plus, he never really talked to me about how he feels and what he thinks, so I'm always analyzing and trying to figure out how I could help him. He had a bad childhood and has lots of issues with communication and conflicts, so I always tried to be lenient and give him time to do things in his own pace. But yeah, I guess he just hates me now, and I'll never know why. I hope the new year will be better, lol. Girl. No. This ain't it. He's choosing to punish you with his behavior. It's abusive and will get worse. You deserve better. If you stay, you'll regret it. Nope. Mentally stable, well-adjusted, happy, healthy people don't act this unhinged or say these things to the person they love, even if they are angry. Triangular flag. With the best of intentions, because I can't possibly fully you destined what you've gone through. 1. Leave. 2. Leave now. 3. Don't look back. No one needs to put someone else above their own well-being. Run. Be well. I don't need to read anything beyond the title to know he should be your ex. There is no conceivable world where you should be with someone who sincerely says that to you. He doesn't like you. No, none of that is normal. Don't stay with someone who doesn't like you. I am a teacher, and I often tell the kids, you don't have to play with people who are mean to you. It is okay to walk away.